So a year ago, in the beginning of 2020, I thought it's going to be a year where I'm finally gonna start a successful business. I'm finally going to make 10K a month and I'm gonna be the best partner I could be. Yeah, so spoiler alert, none of them happened, but I am so grateful because instead of getting all that, I learned something much more valuable that I can carry over to 2021. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Irene and my channel is about my debt-free journey, personal finance, and personal development. And happy new year. If you're here watching this video, congratulations, you've survived 2020. This past year has been extremely crazy for everyone, for myself. Like, where was the memo? No one got the memo. Things just happened. So as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I had some pretty grand visions for 2020. And again, none of them happened, but that was okay because throughout this whole thing, as I was going through 2020, I learned something much more valuable, and that is called self-love. I know, self-love, what the hell, Irene? It's so cliche, but just stay with me a little bit longer because this really has saved me from depression this year and also helped me to start 2021 with a lot more peace. Also, it helped me to really identify what I want instead of what I think I should do. Okay, let me start by answering this question. What does self-love feel like? When we develop a feeling of love towards ourselves, we feel a sense of ease, a sense of peace. Because, you know, no matter what happened, you got your own back. If you're by yourself, you feel lonely, you know you got yourself. When you tell yourself, I love you, when you give yourself a hug, you get that warm fuzzy feeling flowing through you, and you might even get some goosebumps. So when you feel that peace, when you feel the warmness in you, you know you're sending yourself love. Earlier this year, I felt super depressed to a point where I had suicidal thoughts. And part of it was because I gave myself a lot of pressure to achieve my goals. Now, I've been having these goals for 2 years now, like since the end of 2018. I've been keeping the same goals. However, I've never really asked myself if this is something I truly want. It looks nice to make money, it looks glamorous to be a successful entrepreneur, but I never really look inside of myself and see if this is something that will make Irene happy. So super depressed, couldn't find any motivation to work on anything, and this lasted until at least summer of 2020. Went to some therapy sessions, counseling, and finally, closer to fall, I finally decided, okay, I'm gonna let myself take a break. I was so tired of my internal battle. Every day for the past 6 months, I was going through, I don't want to do this, but I have to because I set these goals for myself, but I really don't want to. It doesn't give me joy. It doesn't bring me any happiness, but I have to do this because, you know, I can't let people down. And I was so exhausted by this internal battle. And as soon as I allow myself to take a break from this endless battle, I felt a sense of ease. I told myself I'm not letting go of my ultimate goal, which is to build a life that I truly want. But I have to recognize that whatever I was doing for the past 2 years, especially the past 6 months, the struggle, I wasn't really going towards where I want to be. And I gotta ask myself, okay, then why was I so adamant about the way I was doing things? Like, this is the way I'm gonna build my business, that kind of mindset. Then I realized it was because I didn't ask myself if this is what I want. I look at the internet influencers, I look at other people, and that's the way they do it, and that makes them happy. And I thought, okay, if I were to do that, I will also get that happiness. But that's completely not true. Other people's success definition is not my success definition. And by allowing myself to rest a little bit, I was able to identify that. And then by identifying that, I'm able to go a step further and find my own success definition. When I let go of that unreasonable persistence of I have to do things this way in order to be successful, in order to become who I want to become, I also let go of the depression and anxiety that it brought me. At the same time, I welcome some self-love along the way. So with understanding that I need to find my own definition of success, I also learned that it's okay to let go of what's not working. It may be working for other people, but I gotta be honest with myself. It wasn't working for me. Now, how did I end up learning self-love? Well, through letting go of my goals, through admitting that these goals didn't come from within, they were completely influenced by outside. I became somewhat of an empty shell, meaning I know ultimately I want to build a life I want, but without the step in between, how do I get there? When I let go of the goals, the step that I thought it would take me there, I was completely lost. So that comes with a challenge. How do I deal with that feeling of almost losing an identity and having to rebuild one without getting anxious? So for me, there are 3 things that I did. First, allowing myself to go through this process with no judgment. And second, forgiving myself for feeling this way. If I feel anxious, forgive myself for feeling anxious. And the last one, literally physically tell myself, I love you no matter what. No matter who I was, no matter who I am right now, I love you. And as I repeated these 3 things, I noticed that after a few months, I felt very different about myself. Like I mentioned earlier, I felt a sense of ease, a sense of peace. And this is not to say that the negative feelings completely vanish. They come and go, but by being able to ground myself to knowing that I love myself, I got my back, and I'm here with me, I was able to deal with these feelings as they come. So yeah, 2020 took me by surprise. I felt a lot of feelings I was not expecting to feel, but I am at the same time super grateful that I went through all these, because without that experience, I probably wouldn't really tap into the realm of what it really feels like to love myself. I hope today's sharing can help some of you who had a hard time in 2020 to start 2021 with a peaceful mind. And thank you so much for watching today's video. I will see you guys next time.